The human ship arrived without warning. It was small, old, and clearly damaged. Yet it crossed the forbidden border of the Zereth Empire, a place no human had ever entered and survived. The empire belonged to the Altherians, a powerful alien race with advanced technology, ancient laws, and royal bloodlines older than human history. Inside the ship was one man. His name was Ethan Cole. Ethan was not a soldier. He was not a hero. He was a human explorer, sent on a deep space mission that went terribly wrong. His crew was gone. His engines were failing. His oxygen was low. He had only one goal left: to live one more day. As the ship drifted into the capital world of Valoria, alarms exploded across the royal city. High stone towers mixed with glowing alien structures lit the night sky. Energy shields rose. Defense cannons locked on. Everyone expected destruction, but it never came. Instead, the ship crashed softly into the outer royal grounds, sliding across white stone like a dying bird. Guards surrounded it instantly. Weapons aimed. Orders shouted. Hatch opened slowly. Smoke poured out. Then a human stepped forward, tall, thin, weak, covered in burns and dust. He collapsed to his knees. Silence followed. The guards froze. Many had never seen a human before, only stories. Weak creatures, short lives, loud voices, no honor. Yet this one did not beg. He simply whispered, "I surrender." The guards exchanged looks. Then a single voice cut through the night. "Bring him to me." The voice belonged to Princess Lyra Valanthre, first daughter of the Altherian queen. She stood at the top of the palace steps, wearing crimson royal armor, her long silver hair flowing in the cold wind. Her eyes glowed faintly violet, intelligent, dangerous. She studied the human carefully. A human should not have survived the border. A human should not have reached Valoria alive. And yet, he had died. Ethan was brought before her, chained but conscious. He looked up at her towering form, at the alien city behind her, at the stars above. He expected death. Instead, he was given water. Lyra crouched before him, eye to eye. "Human," she said calmly, "state your purpose." Ethan swallowed. "I was exploring. I got lost. I didn't choose your space." The guards tensed. Lyra raised a hand. "He speaks truth." Her words shocked everyone, including herself. She felt something strange, a pull, a pressure in her mind. The ancient bond, an old royal power, was reacting. Impossible. The bond only awakened during one moment in an Altherian's life, the moment of choosing a mate. The royal hall was silent. To silent, Ethan stood in the center, surrounded by alien nobles, warriors, and priests. 4 princesses faced him now, each one powerful, each one dangerous in her own way. He felt very small. "I don't understand," Ethan said slowly. "I didn't agree to marry anyone. I just wanted to survive." Princess Saren stepped forward. Her eyes were calm but sharp like cutting glass. "The bond does not ask for permission," she said. "It only chooses." Ethan rubbed his face. "Of course it does." Princess Astra crossed her arms. She was tall and strong, her armor marked with battle scars. "A human," she said loudly, "has never been part of our royal bloodline. This breaks every rule." Nyx, the strategist, watched Ethan closely. "Or it fulfills a rule we never understood." The elders began to argue again. "This is forbidden. The prophecy never mentioned humans. The empire will collapse." Lyra raised her voice. "Enough." The room fell silent again. Lyra looked at Ethan. Her expression softened just a little. "You are afraid," she said. Ethan nodded. "Yes, that is honest," she replied. "But fear does not cancel destiny." Before Ethan could answer, the floor beneath them glowed again. Ancient symbols spread like fire. The palace systems activated. A deep voice echoed through the hall. "Royal trial initiated." Ethan jumped. "What trial?" Saren turned to him. "A test." "A test of what?" She met his eyes. They took Ethan to the Hall of Judgment, a massive chamber older than the Empire itself. Floating lights hovered in the air. Ancient machines watched from the walls. "This hall judges all royal bonds," Nyx explained. "If you fail, the bond breaks." Ethan felt relief. "Good," Astra smirked. "And you die?" he sighed. Of course. The first test began without warning. The floor vanished. Ethan fell. Darkness rushed past him. His heart pounded. Then, he landed hard on cold stone. He stood up slowly. The room had changed. Now he was standing on Earth. His Earth, burned cities. Broken towers, dead skies, his memories, a voice echoed. "Show us your strength." Ethan laughed bitterly. "This is my strength." Loss. The images changed. His crew, their faces, their deaths. Pain hit him like a wave. He fell to his knees, but he did not beg. He stood again. "I failed them," he said, "but I kept going." The room trembled outside. The princesses watched in shock. "He is resisting the memory field," Saren whispered. "No human has done that," Nick said. The vision shifted again. Now Ethan faced a massive Altherian war. Beast claws, sharp eyes glowing red. A weapon appeared in his hand. A simple human. Ethan slept for the first time in days, but peace did not last. High above Valoria, deep in dark space, silent ships changed direction. Long-range sensors locked onto the signal coming from the Altherian capital. It was ancient, powerful, and human.in. A hidden war council, alien leaders watched the data scroll. A human bonded with royal blood. One voice hissed, another growled. That bond rewrites law. A third spoke calmly. Then the human must be removed. The decision was made. Back in the palace, Ethan woke inside a quiet chamber. Soft blue light filled the room. His body felt light, strong, different. He sat up, slowly. "I feel better," he said. "You are better." Lyra stood near the window. She turned to face him. The battle ended. The enemy fleet pulled back into deep space, leaving broken ships behind. Valoria survived, but the Empire was no longer the same. Across the Altherian worlds, screens lit up. News spread fast. A human had stood in the royal hall. A human had faced the coalition. A human had helped stop an invasion. People whispered his name. Ethan Cole, in the palace. Silence filled the command room. "He saved us," one general said. "He endangered us." Another replied. The council argued again, but this time the tone was different. Fear mixed with respect. Lyra watched Ethan from across the room. He stood quietly, listening, not demanding praise. "He does not act like royalty," Saren said softly. Training began at dawn. Ethan stood in the open combat yard of the palace. Cold wind cut across the stone floor. Around him were guards, instructors, and machines built for alien warriors. He felt out of place. Again, Astra walked toward him, wearing full battle armor. "Rule 1, she said, tossing him a weapon. "This is not Earth." Ethan caught it. The weapon was heavy, glowing faintly with energy. "I noticed," he said. Astra attacked without warning. Ethan barely dodged. The strike cracked the stone where his head had been. "Rule 2, Astra said, smiling. "We do not wait." Ethan rolled, stood, and raised the weapon. He lost again and again by the end of the first hour. He was on the ground, breathing hard. "You are slow," Astra said. "I'm human," Ethan replied. "We start that way." She laughed. "Fair, Saren?" Trained him next. Not with weapons, with knowledge. Screens filled the room. Data moved fast. "Alien warfare is not about strength," Saren explained. "It is about systems." Ethan leaned forward, focused. "Every system has a weakness," he said. Saren paused. "You already understand." They worked for hours. Ethan asked questions. He remembered patterns. He connected ideas. "You learn quickly," Saren admitted. "I had to," Ethan said quietly. Earth didn't forgive mistakes. Nyx trained him in strategy. She placed pieces on a table, ships, planets, supply lines, win without fighting. She said, Ethan studied the board. Cut communication, he said. Confuse command. Force them to turn on each other. Nyx smiled slowly. "That is exactly what frightens them," she said. "You think like a disruptor." Lyra trained him last, not in combat, but control. They stood in a quiet chamber. Energy symbols glowed faintly around them. "The bond amplifies emotion," Lyra explained. "Fear makes it unstable. Calm makes it strong." Ethan closed his eyes. He remembered Earth. Loss, pain, the energy. The war did not begin with fire, it began with silence. Coalition fleets appeared at the edge. Of Altherian space, hundreds of ships, dark and cold. No warning shots, no messages, only movement. Inside the palace, alarms screamed. They're bypassing our outer defenses, Saren said, staring at the screens. That's impossible, Astra replied. Those routes are sealed. Nyx's eyes narrowed. Unless someone opened them, the truth hit hard. A traitor. Before anyone could speak, explosions rocked the city. Shields flared. Towers shook. Their landing troops, a commander, shouted. Ethan stepped forward. Calm, focused. They know our layouts, he said. Which means the leak is inside this room. The elders froze. One of them moved back slowly. Too slowly. Astra was on him in a second. Blade at his throat. You sold us, she growled. The elder's voice shook. I was trying to save the Empire. You sold it, Lyra said coldly. He laughed weakly. You let a human rewrite law. This was the cost. Before anyone could stop him, the elder activated a device. The room exploded in light. Ethan was thrown across the chamber. Pain burned through him. Smoke filled the air. Lyra screamed. When the light faded, the traitor was gone, and so was Ethan. Nyx coordinated fleets. Saren shut down enemy systems, but Ethan was missing. Felt the bond weaken. Fear struck deep. He's alive, she whispered. I can feel it. Ethan woke, in chains. Cold metal. Darkroom. A coalition commander stood before him. A human, the commander said calmly. You should have stayed small. Ethan lifted his head. You should have learned history. The commander smiled. You think you matter. I already changed you, Ethan replied. You're afraid. The commander's smile faded. We will break the bond, he said, publicly. Ethan closed his eyes. Then you don't understand. Back in Valoria, Lyra, the war ended without a final shot. Coalition fleets withdrew one by one. Some ran in fear, others watched in silence. The galaxy had changed, and everyone felt it. Valoria stood alive, but victory felt heavy. Ethan recovered slowly. His body healed. Faster now, shaped by the bond. Yet his mind carried weight. He had seen how close everything came to ending. The Empire gathered again, not for war, for choice. The ancient hall opened its doors for the last time. Citizens filled the street.